For the true yet virtuous petrol head, the new and nearly new SUV market can often be a challenging and guilt-inducing world. After all, electrification is currently the hot topic, hybrid technology seems to be making its way into just about anything with wheels, and hydrogen is waiting in the wings, ready to suck away any last hopes of fun from anything fast and loud. That is, of course, unless you're considering an SUV from Jaguar's SVR department. Because in this new world of electrification and hybrid technology, it would seem that the folks at SVR aren't quite yet ready to conform, and are instead producing this. 5-litre V8 supercharged SUV. It's literally as if Jaguar have grabbed the little book of current design trends, opened it, read it, laughed at it, and then thrown it out the window. The best way to describe this car is Bonkers Brilliance. So, I hear you ask, given current times, who is this car for? And that is a good question, because you're certainly not going to make many friends turning up to the local Green Party convention in this. In fact, I'd say if you turned up to the local Green Party convention in an SVR, well, it'd be a bit like turning up to your local vegan food festival in a suit made of ham. Now, like it or not, SUVs are very much on trend at the moment. Pretty much all manufacturers are making them because, well, people are buying them. And certain manufacturers, Jaguar included, are making a super sporty version of the SUV. You've got Bentley making the Bentayga, you've got Lamborghini making the Urus, Range Rover, of course, have their selection of cars, and then, of course, Porsche making the Macan and the Cayenne. Jaguar have made something pretty special, in my opinion. The 5-litre supercharged V8 engine in the SVR is glorious. It's an absolute powerhouse. I cannot remember the last time I drove anything of this size that accelerates the way that this thing does. And the icing on the cake, even more so than the engine, is the way that this thing goes around corners. It handles beautifully. It handles honestly like a sports car. And the main reason for that is because the car itself is on adaptive dampers rather than big cushiony soft airbags, which is what you'd expect to find in a sporty SUV. Now, it's fair to say the SVR does go against pretty much everything that a modern car should be. But do you know what? Personally, I don't care. And the reason for that is because there is a big argument about carbon emissions at the moment. Yes, there is a big argument and a big sway towards electrification, and I'm not against that at all. We should be doing all we can to protect the environment. But the battle against cars is unfair. The emissions that are emitted from cars in comparison to the emissions that are emitted from power stations is minimal. It really is minimal. And where do you think the power that's charging up our electric cars is coming from? Fossil fuel burning power stations. The SVR, I believe, is a car that you can still drive around with a good conscience. So what I say is, whilst you still can, and with an element of genuine consciousness about you, do go out and buy yourself an SVR if you can, because it is genuinely bonkersly brilliant.